Welcome to Royal Secret. Princess Isabella, the poised and eloquent daughter of Crown Prince Frederik and Queen Mary of Denmark, stepped onto the public stage in a way that defied expectations and signaled a powerful new chapter for the Danish monarchy. At just 18 years old, the young royal delivered her very first official speech, and it was nothing short of revolutionary. From the resplendent setting of Christiansborg Palace to the thunderous applause of dignitaries and delighted family members, Isabella's milestone birthday was already a celebration to remember. But what made the occasion truly unforgettable was her fearless choice to use this highly anticipated moment to take a bold stand, not just as a royal, but as a future leader with vision, strength, and heart. As the cameras flashed and global media tuned in, Princess Isabella stood at the podium with the grace of a seasoned stateswoman. But beyond her regal posture and polished Danish, it was her message that stunned the audience into silent admiration. In a heartfelt and unapologetically courageous speech, Isabella spoke not of luxury or legacy, but of purpose, identity, and duty in a modern world. As I take my first steps into adulthood, I am reminded that my role is not defined merely by heritage, but by responsibility, she began. Her voice, calm and deliberate, echoed across the grand hall with the intensity of conviction. She went on to acknowledge the privileges of royal life but emphasized the importance of using that privilege to advocate for others. She highlighted issues close to her heart: youth mental health, environmental protection, and the power of education. "We are a generation not defined by age, but by action," she declared. "And I believe that the true crown we must wear is the one of empathy, courage, and service." The audience, a blend of political leaders, family members, and foreign dignitaries, erupted into applause. And while Denmark is no stranger to beloved royals, there was a sense in the air that this moment had introduced a rare and genuine force of nature. As her speech concluded, Isabella turned to look at her proud parents. Queen Mary, always graceful, was seen wiping a tear from her eye. Crown Prince Frederik clapped with a kind of fatherly pride that transcended formality. Even Queen Margrethe II, Denmark's revered monarch and Isabella's grandmother, was visibly moved. The significance of the speech goes beyond a coming-of-age gesture. In the grand tradition of European royalty, where decorum often outweighs dialogue, Princess Isabella's boldness represents a seismic shift. No longer is the younger generation content to play silent roles in ceremonial displays. Instead, they are stepping forward with voices sharpened by conviction, shaped by the realities of a changing world. Social media erupted within minutes of the speech being broadcast. Hashtags like #IsabellaTurns18 and #RoyalSpeech began trending across platforms in Europe and beyond. Young Danes expressed admiration for the princess's focus on real issues, praising her for addressing mental health and environmental responsibility. International commentators noted the uncanny resemblance to her mother's style of diplomacy: firm, elegant, and deeply heartfelt. Journalists were quick to draw parallels with other young royals across the globe. Yet, there is something uniquely Danish about Isabella's approach: her grounded sense of community, her unassuming dignity, and her deep respect for tradition balanced delicately with the courage to challenge its constraints. Behind the scenes, palace insiders revealed that Princess Isabella had insisted on writing her own speech. She spent weeks crafting the words, working with advisors only to ensure clarity and tone, but retaining full authorship. She wanted it to come from her heart, not from a script, one royal aide shared. She said, "If this is to be my voice, it must be mine alone." And indeed, her voice rang true. It wasn't simply the content that impressed, but the authenticity. The days that followed the speech have been filled with celebration, symbolism, and speculation. Will Princess Isabella take on more public responsibilities now? Is Denmark preparing for a modern monarchy shaped by the boldness of its youth? In public appearances following the speech, Isabella has remained graceful and grounded. She greeted well-wishers outside Amalienborg Palace with smiles and short exchanges, clearly moved by the outpouring of support. A new portrait released by the royal court shows her in a classic white gown, adorned with the Order of the Elephant, Denmark's highest honor, but it's her confident gaze that truly commands attention. Royal watchers and historians agree, this may be the most defining moment of a Danish royal since Queen Margrethe's accession in 1972. It signals a future monarchy not just preserved by lineage, but propelled by leadership. As Denmark continues to celebrate Princess Isabella's transition into adulthood, the country also begins to envision what the future might hold under her influence. Will she become the voice of a generation? Will her advocacy shape policies and conversations beyond palace walls? What is certain is this: Princess Isabella has arrived. Not just as a royal, but as a force. And the world is watching. So what do you think? Could Princess Isabella become the most influential royal voice of her generation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.